everyone. Welcome to the Porthole to Justice. I am your host, Amelia Duran, and that was Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it, right? It is January 14th, 2019, and I have a new post in the Porthole to Justice. It is the executive order blocking the property or persons involved in serious human rights abuse and corruption. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you guys right now because I think everybody that has, been griping about Child Protective Services, all of the shows and content that we've created and brought forth to the public quite successfully, we've proven our point, and this is important. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the National Emergencies Act, the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act of Immigration and Nationality, I, Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, find that the prevalence and severity of human rights abuses and corruption that have their sole source in whole or in substantial part outside the United States, such as those committed or directed by foreign agents. I put that in. That's my word. Such as committed or directed by persons listed in the annex to this order, have reached such a scope and gravity that they threaten the stability of international political and economic systems. Human rights abuse and corruption undermine the values that form an essential foundation of stable, secure, and functioning societies. And they have devastating impacts on individuals, weaken democratic institutions, and degrade the rule of law, perpetuate violent conflicts, facilitate activities of dangerous persons, and undermine the economic markets. The United States seeks to impose tangible and significant consequences on those that commit serious human rights abuses or engage in corruption, as well as to protect the financial systems of the United States from abuse by these same persons. I therefore determine that serious human rights abuse and corruption around the world continue and an unusual and extraordinary threat to national security, foreign policy, and the economy of the United States, and I hereby declare a national emergency to deal with that threat. I hereby determine and order Section 1, and this is really important, listen very close, all property and interests that are in the United States that hereby come within the United States or that are in hereafter come within the possession and control of the United States. Persons of the following persons are blocked from not being transferred, paid, extorted, withdrawn, or dealt in. My point is this, and I'm going to get to the section where the transfer or number 2, the transfer or facilitation of proceeds of corruption. C, to have been a leader or an official of an entity, including any government entity that has engaged in or whose members have engaged in any of the activities described in sections A, B, 1, B, and 2 of this section relating to leaders or officials' tenure. 2, any entity, property, interest, or property are blocked pursuant to this order as a result of activities related to the leader or official tenure. Basically, this includes all government agencies, all government entities that are colluding. I've had on 27-year veteran teacher, Paula Flo. I've had her on my radio show talking about how these children will come to her at school and tell her that they're being raped in their foster care placements, that they're having bags placed over their heads and being raped. These children are being trafficked. They're being put in cages. They're being, these are serious human rights abuses by Child Protective Services. We lose hundreds of to these crimes, and this is massive corruption, and Child Protective Services most definitely falls under this executive order. So I will be continuing to bring this up, and I'm going to leave a link in the Porthole to Justice on Facebook as well as on Twitter regarding this executive order. Also, I have posted a brief by Bill Burke Orwitz. It's called Prospecting Among the Poor, and it's about welfare privatization. And I encourage anyone to go in and read this brief, because it certainly depicts a grim, basically war on the family, war on the children, war on, everything that I've been depicting and talking about on the Porthole to Justice. So that's another top story in the Porthole to Justice, and I encourage you to go ahead and check it out. It is, the American Safe Families Act was established by the Clintons, Bill Clinton, in 1997, and it basically put a bounty on all of our children's heads and our elderly. Anybody that becomes subjected to our system, our government system, that includes children that come over our borders and arrive here illegally, or anyone so basically this is, there is no difference between there being 2,000 children being taken away from their parents at the border and the 24 million children that are displaced in the foster care system here on American soil. So I encourage you guys to research all of this stuff and look into it. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be taking off with this week. And and I encourage everybody to go into the archives of the Porthole to Justice and look for some of these substantiating facts and amazing interviews with other activists involved in bringing these crimes to light. A part of all of this struggle that I personally have and am being attacked for by very toxic people is that that it is this. Not everybody wants to see this, but it's absolutely something that we have to address. It is something that we have to take a hard look at. And we do have a perfectly well-running criminal justice system that can handle these crimes against the children. And absolutely, if somebody is committing crimes against children, they need to be charged with a crime. In juvenile courts, that is not happening. These people are getting off scot-free, and obviously these children are paying the price, and oftentimes children are being placed in very harmful situations in foster care. So I encourage you to look into that and subscribe to my show. I'm on Spreaker, and you can subscribe for free, Twitter, Instagram, and Porthole to Justice. Thanks for tuning in.